Hey everyone, Richard here. So we were talking about identifying triggers. Everybody has triggers, whether they have a mental illness or they don't. You could be walking down the street and someone swears and that makes you angry. The trigger is the swear word. The fact that someone used that swear word, that triggers you and makes you angry, probably because you don't like that word, or you find it offensive when someone swears around you or near you. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with your depression. You really need to kind of learn how to identify certain triggers that are going on. So throughout the day, certain things happen and it causes a reaction. It could be a mental reaction, a physical reaction, or an emotional reaction. A lot of the times it'll be an emotional reaction. So maybe you're in a crowded store like Walmart and your reaction is the anxiety. The trigger is the crowd. So you start to learn that when you're in a crowded area, that's a trigger for you because it triggers your anxiety, which when your anxiety gets triggered, it starts to make you start doing the negative thinking. The anxiety drives that negative thinking, and then that negative thinking in turn drives your depression. When you're going throughout your day, maybe carry just a small notepad that you can have in your pocket and that you can bring out and write out, just one that fits in the palm of your hand, or on your cell phone just download a notepad application. And as you're going throughout your day, try and identify what triggers, or if you suddenly feel sad, try and think of, okay, what's just happened recently that could have triggered that sadness? Did somebody say something? Does somebody bring up something about their past, or did they talk about something that was going on that suddenly triggered that emotion in you and that thought in you? It made you remember something and that triggered the sadness, or triggered the depression or triggered the anxiety. Try and keep a record of what's going on, that's what your triggers are, so that when you're out and about, you can understand that, okay, I'm going to be going to Walmart. I know that that's going to trigger anxiety. So what do I do before I go to Walmart? Do I take a PRN of clonazepam or Ativan before I go to Walmart in order to help control that anxiety? Do I try and physically remember to do some deep breathing techniques while I'm in Walmart in order to calm myself down and deal with that anxiety? If it's out and something triggers your sadness, well, what is it that you're going to do in order to change that sadness around, to turn that sadness around? So maybe you've got a picture of your daughter or your son or your mother or your father, your grandmother, grandfather, somebody that makes you really, really happy. So you would have that in your wallet or in your purse or in your pocket, so that if you're out and there's a possibility that someone might trigger that sadness in you, you can pull out that picture and remember the happy times that you've had with that person. Maybe it'll bring a smile to your face and that'll turn that sadness around. You can look at things like that, and look at strategies, things that you might want to do in order to change the reaction when that trigger gets hit. You would practice mental thinking. CBT, that can play a huge part, so that when somebody triggers or something triggers a reaction or an emotional reaction within you, you use that cognitive behavioral therapy in order to change your thinking process, which would, in hopes, change the way that you feel. Or you would have maybe like a certain kind of like a smooth, relaxing rubbing stone that you would keep in your pocket. Nobody would really know that you've got your hand in your pocket, you're walking down the street, you're anxious because there's so many people around, but rubbing that stone kind of helps to calm you down. So you've got your hand in your pocket while you're walking, nobody will notice anything, and you're just rubbing that stone with your thumb. And that helps to soothe you, that helps to calm you down. So try and identify your triggers. what happens during a daytime that will trigger certain reactions or emotional reactions, and then try and think of ways of countering those reactions to those triggers. So thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. Have a great day.